Hey guys, it's very common for people to have increased low moods over winter. Particularly, you sort of find that it's something which you'll find for most of the year, and then sort of come November, December time, you actually just start feeling more sort of depressed. Maybe as well, along with that, you'll get more sort of social anxiety. You may sort of start waking up in the mornings and have that kind of knot in your stomach, that kind of feeling of dread every time you wake up in the morning, which may slowly leave throughout the day or may not. And it's very hard to sort of wonder what to do with it. Sometimes it sort of feels as though you're losing a lot of motivation during this time. It feels as though it's harder to talk to people, to sort of engage in conversation, and it tends to be harder to sort of direct your mind and focus on what you actually want to do. And I'm talking about this video because it's really relevant to me right now. In my videos, I'm usually quite a happy, cheery kind of person. And while for a lot of the time that's certainly the case, and I've certainly been able to sort of improve my kind of emotional set point, and become a generally happier person over the last couple of years. I'm finding right now particularly, and this is not uncommon for me at winter at all, is that I have more increased frequency of low moods. And by the way, small sort of blips of depression for maybe a couple of days here and there, or just kind of low moods here and there, that's a perfectly healthy thing. It's not something we should necessarily have to shy away from. Everybody experiences that. Everyone gets into the kind of funk, that kind of, just that bad mood where you don't really want to talk to anyone, you don't really want to go outside, you just kind of want to lie on the sofa and watch TV or do something like that. But when you get to a period where that just kind of hits you for consecutive months at a time, maybe that's an entire season of the year, that's something which is not necessarily a natural, normal thing. And yeah, so currently at the moment I'm going through a similar sort of thing. And what I would sort of say, what's on my mind right now is that if you're somebody, and if you're watching this you probably are, who is trying to achieve a goal, somebody that's on that kind of path to mastery, that kind of self-development sort of journey where you're trying to get somewhere, you want to maybe build a certain business, you're trying to get somewhere in your work, you're trying to get into medical school, for example, and you have that, you're on that journey, and you've spent maybe the last year or couple years really changing your life around and really trying to motivate yourself and do good positive things and constantly improve. You want to sort of constantly improve and see progress every single month or every single 2 months. But the thing is as well is that backsliding sometimes is inevitable. And sometimes there are going to be periods of sort of contraction in your life where things actually are more difficult. There are going to be times where you are going to become depressed again. Now that doesn't necessarily mean you're regressing to your old ways. If you've built all these really good positive kind of life habits and you've become more of an outgoing, happy, positive person, that doesn't mean that you're regressing back to how you were before you sort of changed your life around. As I said, I think that when you get periods like this, the important thing to do is actually realize, this is not great, but this is an opportunity for me to sort of practice resilience. This is an opportunity for me to actually say, you know what, this is happening to me right now. I kind of accept that I'm feeling this way, but actually I'm not powerless in the same way I was before. I still have the ability to sort of go out and do things that I enjoy. I have the ability to tackle this one-on-one. I have the ability to, look at why am I feeling like this? What can I do to improve? Do I need to increase the frequency that I'm exercising? Do I need to actually really try and eat more clean food? Do I need to make sure, actually it could be something as simple as just, making sure you're not socially isolated. Make sure you're going to an event every day and seeing friends every day instead of sort of locked up in your room or on the sofa watching TV or on your laptop, for example. And again, those aren't bad things I'm saying you shouldn't ever do, because I certainly have days where all I want to do is just lie down on the sofa and like read or go on Facebook or something. And I'm not saying don't ever do that, but I think that when you have this sort of experience, realize actually, you know what, I'm not powerless, I'm not regressing back to how I was before. This is something that I'm feeling right now, and actually, this sounds a bit crazy, but this is what you can say. You can say, I'm thankful for this experience, I'm thankful that I'm feeling this way, because I know this is temporary, and if I can put up with this, if I can get through this without going into doing bad things, without sort of numbing myself, without sort of giving into old bad habits, without, maybe for some people it'd be taking drugs, for example. If I can get through this sort of pain and you know, still be genuine to who I am and all of the things that I sort of believe in and stand for, you know. So for example, just say you're building a business or you're studying, for example, I mean, like, you still feel that pain, but you do work regardless, or you go and do, like, you study regardless. And by all means, there are going to be days where you're not going to want to do that so much. I think for me, one of the big things is that over the last couple of years, I've become more outgoing, I've become kind of more talkative, and just developed sort of social skills. And I've found really weirdly in the last sort of month to 2 months, and this is what's happening at the moment because I've been getting more frequent low moods, is that I am finding it harder to relate with other people, with being able to talk to people, because I just don't really feel like I want to right now, unless they're sort of really close friends of mine. So that's something which I'm feeling right now. But at the same time, you know, I will still go out and try and make an effort to talk to people. I have a job at the moment which I really love and enjoy. But I think what I just sort of want to end this video with and just say is the main point of this, is that if you are feeling this way, it does not mean you're regressing back to how you were before. It may sometimes feel, okay, I've done all this work, I've done all this stuff to, you know, improve my life. Why am I feeling depressed? Am I just going back to the kind of the same base level homeostasis that I was 2 years ago? Am I just going back to how I was before and there hasn't been any real change? What I'm saying is no, there definitely has been change. Sometimes it's hard to see it yourself, but other people in your life can see that you've changed. But you yourself, you know, it does kind of feel like I'm just going back to how I was before, but you're not. You know, the way, you know, I like to sort of imagine it is that you are improving sort of long term over time, but there are going to be periods where it's sort of up and then down and up and down, but the sort of general trend is that it's going to be increasing. And that's what you've got to see it as. You've got to see, you know, this is an inevitable low point, this is happening right now, but I'm going to get through this, and this is going to make me a stronger person. This is kind of molding me into who I want to be, and eventually, and much quicker than you probably think, you're going to be back to your happy, normal self, that kind of joy, peace, patience, and kindness that, you know, everybody deserves to have in their life. That's what I want to leave you with today, and I hope to see you guys again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.